Our country is celebrated globally as an example of what humanity can overcome no matter their circumstances. From the horrors of apartheid to the hope of a better life for all, we can continue to dream big. Assalamu alaikum, it's time again for An Nur the Light. Not only is this week's profile an accomplished nasheed artist, but a soldier too. Talk about a contradiction of sorts. Let's find out more about Shahir.
South Africa's pool of nasheed artists continues growing and producing world-class content. The latest to join the stable is Shahir Karim, a young man from Durban whose love for singing was discovered quite accidentally.
It's a funny story. I was actually on military course for about 5 months and no TVs, no internet, no family, well, we had the soldiers who are our friends. So I decided to take my guitar up and try and learn a bit. Although I failed with the guitar part, we used to all sit and sing together. And I never knew that, or I never thought that I was a singer. But as we sang together, the guy said, you know what, you can sing. And when I came back, I sort of left it for a while. And then after a while, I started to sing again. And then I went for a few vocal assessments. And when I was going to the assessments, I was being surprised because the teachers were like, so what do you want from me? Do you want me to teach you anything? And I didn't realize that I actually could sing. So from there, I just got the belief in myself, and that built up and built up. I did some cover songs, put it on the internet, and I got really good reviews. And then I started writing my own music, and I just actually found a new passion, almost a new world for me to explore.
After studying for a degree in biokinetics, Shahir landed a job with the South African National Defence Force. This is where he gets to don the army uniform and ready bodies for war.
As a biokineticist, there's two things. We do the rehabilitation on post-op and any back problems, knee problems, joint problems. And the main thing that's specific to the military is the prep force. So we prepare the soldiers before they go for deployments and even while they're here locally. Generally, we try to keep the BMIs at a certain level. So before a soldier deploys, he needs to be at a certain optimal level to get the go-ahead. So we are the guys who are in charge of signing off in terms of the BMIs and the overall weight, height, that sort of thing.
Shahir is the type of person who forges friendships based on mutual respect and understanding. This can be seen in his partnership with Rajiv Mohan, who helps produce his music.
Shahir's approach has been very professional from the beginning. And besides the fact that he's a good singer, he has good ideas with arrangement and how he wants his music to be done. And he likes a lot of orchestral stuff, which I like doing. So it was a good match. We're trying to be different, but quality-wise and standard-wise, especially with the quality of his singing, we are on par with that kind of music.
Rajiv is not Muslim, yet the understanding of music as a universal tool for bringing people together is evidenced in the work he and Shahir do.
When I listen to music, I don't see religion in it. It's universal, it's a sound, no matter what religion it is. Or there is good music in every religion, so I draw from all of that.
Apart from his music, Shahir acknowledges that family is the cornerstone of his life. His mother, who reared Shahir and his sister under trying circumstances, remains his inspiration. And what better way to thank her for all she's done than by song?
I've written songs about my wonderful mother, who's been an inspiration to me, and she's like my hero. Basically brought my sister and I up from the age of 10, a single mother. And she's inspired. That was the third song. I knew I had to do a song for my mother. It's not just a cheesy sort of thing that all artists do. I really felt that was the right moment to do something for a very special person. And it's called The Life She Built for me, because I really feel like this life that I have was built on her suffering and her perseverance, and the wife that I have and everything that I have is all built upon her sacrifices, and it's the truth.
We all understand the role of a soldier who is someone who is ready for war, but Captain Shahir Karim fights more for peace. His songs uplift and inspire young and old, and his star is only getting brighter.
Straight to you.
Street style continues to wow me with our Muslim-conscious hijabis, and I believe this week is no different. Let's check what our brothers and sisters in Joburg have to show.
I used to stay with my sister in Houston, Texas, and she's the one who influenced my style. She'd always make me feel confident when I was wearing hijab, you know, because at that time when you're 16 years old, girls our age or my age at the time, they just found hijab as an obligation. I always found it, I was proud to wear my hijab from that age. And so as I grew, you know, I incorporated my own styles and put my own things in there.
Fashion is an expression. Fashion is how you live. Fashion is how you portray yourself. It's a stamp that you leave. It's a mark that you make, you know. It's something that you leave behind, and something people can take from that. Yeah.
My personal style is edgy, it's still funky, young. I like to keep it kind of sporty. I'm not very girly. I love fashion. I love for it. I'm a fashion designer by profession, so obviously it's my lifestyle.
This is an ensemble that I got from my sister. I got this downtown Johannesburg. It's just accessories that I get from Joburg. It's just so that I can put all the pieces together. This is called a Maasai head wrap. A friend of mine who stays in Durban got it for me. And yeah, I just try to incorporate African culture within Islam so that my African identity is shown through, even though I am a Muslim, so they both incorporate it into one, basically. This is a necklace I got downtown Johannesburg in Brie. This one I also got from downtown Johannesburg. Yeah, and this dress. I pretty much get everything downtown Johannesburg because it's cheaper for me, and you know, you get more modest dresses. These earrings got downtown as well.
The outfit that I'm wearing today, it's a very street style orientated outfit. It's a mixture of a few different concepts put together. I think it's got a bit of a biker style going on with it, but yet at the same time, it's got a bit of a chic, groomed style with it.
So it's a basic dress tee. I've designed it. It's extra length. It's quite loose fitting as well. You can wear it in a multiple number of ways, you know, with a jacket, on its own, with sneakers, with heels. I've tried to make it as versatile as possible so that it's functional.
My sister, she's definitely my style icon. Most of the time, all of the way that I dress, she's influenced me a lot. I embraced Islam through her, actually. I used to stay with my sister in Houston, Texas, and she's the one who influenced my style. She'd always make me feel confident when I was wearing hijab.
A lot of my inspiration comes from the bigger design houses in the world.
I think more and more Muslim women want to still look fashionable and hold on to their personal style while looking modest. And there's obviously been a gap in the market, so that's where the global explosion might have come from.
The South African Constitution and Bill of Rights affords all citizens the freedom to practice their religion. There is currently a case before the courts in Cape Town which will have far-reaching implications for Muslims in South Africa, and we wanted to know more.
The Western Cape High Court has become ground zero for a court case that seeks to define the role of Muslim spouses when seeking their rights in the dissolution of a marriage. While freedom of religion is guaranteed under the South African Constitution, Muslim marriages are still awaiting legal recognition.
As an organization that advances women's rights and we provide free legal advice, we've had many women coming into our office where they've had challenges trying to end their marriage, where they've been married Islamically. And this has caused challenges for them in terms of accessing property, where they've contributed to the property, pension funds, inheritance, etc. Us seeking the recognition of Muslim marriages means that there will be a legal framework in place for Muslim women. So where they seek legal redress, or if I can put it simply, where they have challenges in terms of claiming their rights, there's a legal framework in place with provisions that can guide them as to what they're entitled to and how they're entitled to that.
The Women's Legal Centre Trust noted the issues in the Muslim marriage bill and brought a case in the public interest on behalf of 1,000 women.
We are saying that the Constitution provides equality for all women, whether or not you're married in terms of religious or even in terms of civil marriages. So you've got equal access to the law, you've got equal access to the courts, and you need to be treated equally. Muslim women or women married in terms of religious marriages also has the right to dignity, they've got a right to religion, they've got a right to equality. And we are saying that the state or South Africa needs to ensure that there's a legislative framework that ensures that equality for these women.
For some, this case is about pitting Muslim law, which is considered divine, against Western law. It is for this reason that a host of Muslim organizations also decided to form part of the court case.
We're not necessarily seeking the implementation of the Muslim marriages bill as was last tabled. We are saying that Muslim women need protection.
The issues that will be leveled, number one, is, for example, they want to change the Quran because they believe that unless there is a literal application, which is impossible, in a context where Muslims do not make the rules, which is impossible in a country which is a secular dispensation of democracy. And we are obviously very privileged and fortunate by the grace of the Almighty that we have a democracy which is very sensitive to religious practice and religious beliefs. And so that kind of reality needs to be factored in that application process of where the fundamental laws are stipulated in the sources, namely the Quran and the Sunnah, and how it has gone through a process of interpretation, and then also to the process of possible Sharia-orientated policy.
At stake are the rights of not only Muslim spouses, but also the prejudice they are currently experiencing that goes in direct violation of the Constitution's guarantee of freedom of religion.
Our courts have recognized the vulnerable status of parties to both monogamous and polygamous Muslim marriages, and through certain judgments have sought to protect the rights of litigants by extending the protection to them. It's well known that Muslim women are marginalized and vulnerable in the absence of a legislative framework, and they simply have to rely on these precedents and have to exceedingly run to court to litigate, which is costly to them. So as it stands now, it would be best that a legislative framework is put in place so that we have a position of certainty for persons and so that their rights are well established.
The application is being heard on the 20th. There are many parties involved. It's a sensitive issue. There are people in favor of what we're doing because we say there must be some protection for Muslim women rather than no protection. There are people opposing it in terms of whether our application and the involvement of government will contaminate the purity of Sharia. So we have Muslim organizations that are coming in. So there are many steps that need to be followed before we see light at the end of the tunnel in terms of the process going forward, seeking recognition of Muslim marriages.
South Africa has one of the most liberal constitutions in the world, and this matter will certainly give thought to challenging questions. At the end of the day, there are real people seeking real relief for a situation they don't want to be in but have the right to be heard.
The integration of Muslims into the greater South African society is truly a model for countries who are facing ever-increasing challenges with Muslim immigrants. Next up, however, is our Books, Tech and App segment.
Secrets of a Muslim Heart, A Journey into Spiritual Awakening, is a collection of poems and essays by South African poet Tasmin Mohammed that center around her experiences of being a Muslim woman living in a Western society. This collection of work charts her remarkable personal journey to find and assume a true Muslim identity. Through this journey of self-discovery, she is led to discovering a renewed purpose to life and a deeper relationship with her Creator, an experience the writer describes herself as my awakening from a worldly slumber. Secrets of a Muslim Heart speaks to everyone seeking change or inspiration to find a deeper meaning to their lives and reveals the hidden wisdom that lies within the process of going into Skaf. It is an important contemporary book on Muslim spirituality and addresses the issues and challenges facing Muslim women today. Do you have the need for an app that can make life easy by storing your notes in the cloud? The Rocket Wave Notebook allows users the ability to write notes onto a page using a pen and uploading this to the cloud. Here it is safely stored while the page can be erased and used again and again. Not only can you store in the cloud, but you use the app to send your notes to some of your favorite cloud apps ready and waiting for you to use. Yasmin Mohamed is a 21st century Muslima using all the tools available to spread her message of Islam. This has gained her a loyal following who love to hear from her, and it's now possible via the Yasmin Mohamed Islamic audio app that has been done in partnership with Muslim Central. Some of Yasmin's best lectures, quotes and writings can be found by scrolling through the app and tapping on something the listener would like to hear. Muslim Central has partnered with many influential Muslims, and Yasmin joins a growing stable of thinkers and speakers. The app is available for download in both the Google Play Store as well as iTunes.
It amazes me at the wonderful inventions technology seems to come up with on an almost weekly basis. If you know of anything that may be of benefit to the greater Muslim community, then let us know. Lemise is ready to show us how to make soft, buttery, yummy pancakes.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Lemise, and today I'm going to be sharing my pancake recipe with you. And what we know as the pancake, the rest of the world calls the flapjack. And what we call the pancake, the rest of the world calls the crepe. So the ingredients that you need for my pancake recipe are the following. I've got 1 cup of cake flour, I've got 1 tablespoon of sugar, I've got 2 medium-sized eggs, a splash of vanilla essence, I've got additional water to thin my batter because the older your flour is, the more water, the moisture it needs. I've got 50 grams of butter, and I've got 1.5 cups of milk. And all you've got to do is take all of these ingredients, stick it in a blender, zap it, and then we start frying them off. Start off with my eggs. One cup of flour. Please don't use self-raising flour because it will thicken your batch. I've got a tablespoon of sugar. I've got some vanilla essence, my 50 grams of butter, and then my milk. The success of your pancake is all about the consistency of your batter. So now what you need is a hot pan. So I'm just gonna get this out of the way and get a pan. And now for your first pancake. Now remember, this is your test run. So fill your ladle. This ladle's quite small. Start on one end, and then you move the batter around the pan using the back of the ladle to spread and cover any gaps that you might have. Here we go. Pancake number 1. And now you let it sit. And when the edges start to go slightly brown and bubbly, that's when you flip your pancake. So you can see the edges start to come loose. And when it's just nicely brown, that's when we're going to flip them. So there we go. Edges done. And flip. So now that the one side's been cooked, all you need is a light fry on the other side. And into your plate. See how my system works. And then our next one. So the first topping I'm going to show you is a banoffee topping. And that is a spread of caramel. And this is where your sweet tooth guides you, because you can be as generous or not as your tastes prefer. A row of bananas, a generous helping of cream, the next one I'm going to show you is the chocolate spread. That's just a 200-gram slab of any milk chocolate. And then your favorite fruit. Mine is raspberries, but this goes equally well with segments of nachi, mandarin, orange, strawberries. This one needs also a loose roll. And you'll be able to see right through the crepes exactly what topping you're going to be getting. And then I'm going to do another favorite, which is strawberries. Who doesn't like strawberries? And all that strawberries is a sprig of strawberries. And with this one, I add just a drizzle of chocolate spread, just to take that tart edge off the strawberry. And there you have it, my 3 favorite toppings. So until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
I have a confession to make. I'm addicted to sweet things, and that has just set my cravings onto another level. Let me love and leave you while I get my hands on some decadently delicious pancakes. From me, Mara Mukwanda, Salang Handle, Assalamu alaikum.